When I watched today's video, I thought you could explain why Bitcoin's price went up, even though you didn't fully understand it. More and more, I see that you pay with Bitcoin. This means that many people say it's good for our country and helps the dollar a lot. This is the first time in the years I've been studying crypto that the regulatory environment is really open to the idea of letting Bitcoin and crypto lead to new ideas. This makes me pretty optimistic about Bitcoin and crypto and the faith and the decentralization. I was in Bitcoin at the time, and I wasn't sure if I would do it again. Not only do I think Bitcoin will go up, but I also like what's going on in crypto. I thought Tom Lee said a lot of things that opened my eyes. I think a lot of you will too. As a result, the crypto space is changing much faster than we thought it would in 2024 or even 2023. The kinds of changes we're seeing this year are dreams that we wish had come true. That being said, they are happening right now and are likely to have a big impact on the price of XRP and many other digital assets. That's why I'm making this movie today, to share this information with you. Please hit the like button so that the whole XRP army can see it. Let's begin. I think that Bitcoin will become much more useful over the next 10 years. The value of the Bitcoin network is one reason why it has grown to $100,000, 0 cents. In 2017, there was a time when valued less than $1,000, 0 cents. The number of wallets and the activity per wallet explained 90% of the move in Bitcoin from 2009 to 2017. If you model those numbers, you get to $25,000, 0 cents in 2022 and can go to six figures later. That's still true. Those two factors still explain about 87% of the move. There are two things that will make Bitcoin much more useful soon. First, it's becoming less regulated. The White House is using it as a strategic backup asset, and businesses are adding it to their balance sheets because that's how people used to keep track of their store real estate. At first, that wasn't a thing, but then people learned. As an example, some stores are worth more because they own the building. That's how Bitcoin works as a cash source. Banks are also interested in Bitcoin because coins are stable, and a stable coin works better than a regular dollar. This could be the Web3 app that really changes the way banking services work, because you don't need to go through a third party to send it. You can now use the safe coin market to move billions and trillions of dollars. It also works out better for banks financially. I won't say anything about its value because Tether is a better example. I think building banking services on the blockchain is a better way to go. Stable coins are the most important thing because Bitcoin is the basis of everything else. You wouldn't need a stable coin if you didn't have Bitcoin. Stable coins like Bitcoin are being used to build financial services. Now, financial services companies understand why Walmart and Amazon want to save coins. Having them makes them a lot of money. We now know that stable coins hold the 12th most US dollars of any type of currency. One thing they like about it is that they own twice as much, as Germany. As it's safe to say that the US government wants stable coins to become very popular. So this is because stable coins will never lose value against the dollar in US financial markets. In terms of GDP, the dollar is only 27% of the world's dollar. In regular trade on the stock market, it's 88%, so 80% of the listed pair in crypto. In crypto, the dollar is more important than steady coin. In the US, only 20% of steady coins are used. About 60% of all deals in stable coins take place in Hong Kong. Since China and Japan are doing this, it's clear that more people outside of the US want dollars. As a result, Bitcoin will keep going up because Bitcoin keeps the whole record safe. As a CNBC reporter, I agree with you that sometimes you'll say something like, the S&P 500 is going to go up, 1% or 2% tomorrow or something similar. After that it does, how do you understand these things? A lot of it is based on facts because we do a lot of risk analysis to try to figure out where we stand in the market. That's why a lot of the things we say are high chance events, because just because something has an 80% chance of happening doesn't mean that today isn't one of those 20%. Some days it doesn't, like when something happens 90% of the time and then doesn't happen for 3 calls in a row. There are many important things that Tom Lee says. If stablecoins are good for the government, they have every reason to push them forward. As Tom Lee said, stablecoins are why they hold more US treasuries than any other country in the world, even more than Germany, which has a multi-trillion-dollar economy. Another thing that blows my mind is that they are in the future, the third most successful bank. Will make a lot of money for big stores like Costco, Walmart, Superstore, Amazon, and more to have their own stablecoin. Just like with credit cards, they will all offer different things to try to get you to use their stablecoin. There will be a big change in how the US economy grows in the future because of this. Bitcoin and Ripple's stablecoin, this will also depend on our loose deed. We need to really support it so that more people around the world use it. That's the only way to be sure of its success. To add to what Tom Lee said, most cryptocurrency trading in Korea, and I guess even China and Japan, happens through US trading pairs, since this will create huge demand for USD. The US government is pushing it so hard. As a result, Relic could be widely used and used in banks and other places, but I think everyone will try to make their own safe coin to get a piece of this market right now. Right now, USD is the clear winner because they're years ahead of everyone else. However, many of these banks will likely decide not to use your stablecoin and will tell all of these crypto companies, screw you, because we know the rules and we can do what we want. This could be good or bad. It depends on how we spend our money if we don't use these strong banknotes. That's why I'm making this video today. We in the XRP army need to make sure that the future we all want comes true. If banks make stablecoins for themselves and don't share any of the benefits with us, don't use these banks, that's when our worst fear comes true. But let's move on to what else Tom Lee has to say because it's very important. Please pay close attention because I have another very important lesson at the end of this video. Trends over time show that it's still likely to stay at 90%. To say that something has a 90% chance of happening is always risky